Only do the ones that you know how to do. If you don't know how to do some of them, please save it for tomorrow, for after the test, because we're gonna still learn this stuff after the test. So don't worry about knowing all this stuff. We'll do what you can, and we'll save it for after the test for the ones you don't. So right now we're going to focus on your test that's coming up. Okay, simplifying radical expressions. Now, if you know how to do it the shortcut way, you can. Okay, so those of you who know how to do the 4 times 8, okay, you can do 4 times 8 and then do the perfect square and then do the 8, and then do 4 times 2 and do the perfect square. That's fine. But if you don't, you can also, and then times it by the -2, okay? Don't forget the -2. 2 times 2, and this is also 2 times 2. You factor it down, and then you rewrite it. You got -2, the square root of 2 to the 5th power, because all the 2's here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 to the 5th power, and you have p to the 7th, 4, q to the 4th. Okay, and then remember you divide by 2, just like any exponent, you divide by 2 here. Your answer is 2 to the 2nd, and -2 times that. You got remaining inside is the 2, okay, and then this is divide by 2. You get q to the 3rd, because 2 goes into 7 3 times, with a remaining q inside, because there's a remainder. Okay, the last one is divide by 2. It's 4, there's no remainder. Oh, I'm sorry, this would have been p. P inside, and then q, there's no remainder. So it's just p to the 2nd. Okay, do order of operations. Says to do exponent first. That's 4 times this -2. You got -8, p to the 3rd, q to the 2nd, and what remains inside the radical is 2p. Okay. This one here, you always do exponent on the outside first. Distribute, distribute, distribute. 2 to the 6th, w to the 15th, z to the 3rd. Okay, this one doesn't have any parentheses on the outside, so now it becomes just a normal -2 wz to the -4. Okay, this rule is called power to a power. To a power. And now we're going to do the product rule of power. Product rule of power says we can combine this 2 to here because this base is the same. So we got 2 to the 7th. That's the first. Oh, I better write that. 2 to the 1st plus 6. And then we got w to the 1st plus 15. And then we got z to the -4 plus 3. And there's a negative on the outside. That's -1 times. We'll just put. Okay, so you get -1 times 2 to the 7th, w to the 16th, z to the -1. Okay, now 2 to the 7th, I don't know how to use this calculator. I'll use the calculator I have at hand. 2 to the 7th is clear. 2 to the 7th is 128. So therefore times 1, -128. Okay, I'm running out of room. So it's -128 W to the 16th. Okay, and simplify product. And the last step is negative exponent rule. Z to the first. Alrighty. Oh, 128. Look, I wrote it wrong. That's your answer. Those are the rules. Okay, this one's easy. You do quotient rule. This is division. Division is called quotient. You do the quotient rule of powers. Okay. You take that, get 12 divided by 4 is 3, right? 3 over 1, 3. X to the 5th minus the 1, there's an one exponent, minus 1. Quotient rule, we subtract. Y to the 9th minus 9. So 3x to the 4th, y to the 0. This is called simplifying powers. Simplified powers. And then we're going to do the zero product rule, zero exponent rule, zero power rule. That's it, zero power rule. Right? Say it all until we get it right. Zero power rules mean anything to the 0 power is 1, and then 1 times 3 is 3, x to the 4th is your answer. Okay? Oh, here's this one, B. Sorry, almost forgot B. Okay, those of you who understand perfect square, you do it your shortcut way, perfect. If you don't, and if you do, just skip it. If you don't, you're not sure, here's another way to do it. 2 times 8. This is an answer because we can't break it down further. 4 times 2. This is an answer. 2 times 2, that's an answer, and that's an answer. So we get square root of 2 to the 4th, x to the 8th, y to the 6th. Okay, we divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. There's no remaining, so therefore there's no square root left. Nothing remains inside, so 2 to the 2nd, no remaining. X to the 4th, no remaining. Y to the 3rd, no remaining. That's our answer. But 2 to the 4th is 4. 2 squared is 4. X to the 4th, y to the 3rd. Okay, this part, show all work. Remember, this is division. Multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. Divide by 7 over 8. With dividing, you have to flip the second one, keep change, then flip, reciprocal. Okay, so you're basically timesing 8 over 7 at the end right here. Okay, if you do to one side, you must do to the other, times 8 over 7. Cancel out, you have left P. Now you cannot solve this when the mixed number. You have to make it improper, 20, negative 21 over 4. Times that by 8 over 7. Cross cancel, 2, 1, 1, 3. Negative 6 equals to P. Okay, so here, get rid of, on this side, the H side, make 8 and 2/15 equal to 0. Add 8 and 2/15. H equals common denominators 30 times 5 is 25 times 2 is 4. You add that, you get 29 over 30 and 20. There you go. This is divide, so the opposite of divide is multiply. So negative 8, so multiply by negative 8. Multiply by negative 8. So x then is equal to negative 4.6. Remember, a positive times a negative is a negative. 4.6 times 8. Negative 36.8. Okay, the weight of an average size leaf is about this many pounds. If there were 1 billion leaves on a tree, that's a lot of leaves, how much would it weigh? Oh, that should have been a question mark right here. Use scientific notation to calculate the weight of 4 billion leaves. Use scientific notation to calculate 4 billion leaves. Leave your answer as scientific notation, okay? Calculate the weight. If 1 is this much, you got 4 billion of them, you would multiply. So scientific notation, put a decimal here, 4.5 times 10 to the, count the numbers in between, that's 4, oops, wrong spot, negative because it's a small number. The other one, 4 billion, oh my gosh, 4 billion, that's 4 billion, million, thousands, hundreds, and ones. 4 billion. 4 times 10 to the, put it right here, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Michael Candelaria, please report to the bathroom. Michael Candelaria.
Use scientific notation, so, all right, so 4.5 times 10 to the negative 4 to the 12. So you commute the numbers together. So you get 4, what is it? 4.5 times 4 on the calculator, it says 18. You get 18. Okay, let's show work. So you do 4.5 times 4. Then you have the 10 to the negative 4 times 10 to the 12th. This you get 18 times 10 to the 8th power. Now, because 18 is not scientific, it needs to be greater than 1, less than 10. So it needs to be here because there's one more. You add 1 to that. So 1.8 times 10 to the 9. Right, the weight of 4 billion leaves in standard notation. So the weight of 4 billion leaves is we need to write that. Okay, how much, you're answering this question, how much would it weigh? 4 billion leaves would weigh.
Jasmine Pedroca, please report to the library. Your cousin's here. Jasmine Pedroca.
4 billion leaves would weigh 1.8 times 10 to the 9th. Okay, here it is. And then they want in standard notation the weight. So if it's already 1.8 times 10 to the 9th, 1.8, you move it 9 times, or you can do order of operation. Multiply, do 10 to the 9th, so 10 to the 9th. That would get you like 1 billion. And times it by 1.8 on your calculator, you should come up with something like this. 1.8 billion. No decimals. Okay, that's your answer. Oh, the weight of 4 billion leaves in scientific notation is 1,800,000,000 pounds. Did I write it wrong? Oops. 1,800,000,000 pounds altogether. Okay. This has to have pounds at the end. Okay. Now you're on your own.